Queen Wu has been dominating headlines lately, and the cast faced serious challenges during filming. This wasn't just about showing up and reading some lines. They were pushed to their absolute limits to bring this show to life. Did you know just how much effort the production team had to put into creating the drama? With John Jong-so playing Queen Wu, the story revolves around her desperate fight to secure the throne within just 24 hours. Surrounded by rival princes and 5 ambitious tribes, the entire plot unfolds in a single day, creating an intense, fast-paced story. Director Jung Sek-yo had a very clear vision for the drama, and to execute that as well as possible, the production team had to spend a lot of time in the editing studio. The show's fast-paced narrative meant every single scene had to be on point, and honestly, the crew deserves a standing ovation for what they pulled off. Sek-yo himself admitted that keeping the momentum up was a huge challenge, making the editing process incredibly time-sensitive. They had to make sure the transitions between all the action scenes were as smooth as possible without messing up the flow of the story, which, let's be real, is no small task. But here's where it gets even crazier. One of the most impressive things about Queen Wu, which sharp-eyed viewers might have picked up on, is how the visuals and sound change with each major conflict. It turns out this was intentional, as the director had thought this through completely. He wanted every tribe in the show to have its own distinct vibe, not just in how they fought, but also in how they were presented on screen. We're talking about a whole range of creative decisions that set each tribe apart: different fight choreography, distinct color schemes, and even unique sound design. Although the editing team's work is already impressive enough, did you know the director and the production team spent over 3.5 years revising the script? They revealed that it took over 90 script changes for the drama to get where it is now. Not to mention that the director started writing the script before working as an assistant director on the set of War of the Arrows, which was in 2011. This means this drama has been in the works for over a decade, and the extensive research that had to be done is unlike anything you've ever heard before. The inspiration behind the drama runs deep into historical roots, drawing heavily from ancient records of the real Queen Wu. While Queen Wu's life is a big mystery for the most part, the little historical records they found painted a picture of a bold and decisive woman. The director was intrigued by this, so he had a goal to bring this historically overlooked figure to life and create a story that blended bold female leadership with dramatic intrigue. However, bringing this vision to the screen was no easy task. Since there are very few detailed accounts of Queen Wu's life, the production team faced the difficult challenge of piecing together a storyline that was both engaging and historically accurate. They understood the importance of getting the historical details right, so one of the key rules during production was that extensive research had to be done before any creative decisions were made. This involved consulting with historical experts to ensure that the plot and character arcs were based on verifiable documents and records from that era. Creating the visuals for the show, however, required a different approach. Since no visual records or footage exist of what Queen Wu's world looked like, the production team had to rely heavily on their imagination. Costumes, set designs, and even the tribal differences were developed based on educated guesses about the aesthetics of the period. This wasn't without controversy because the minute the show's trailer dropped, fans took to the internet to voice their criticism. Many netizens pointed out that the costumes in the drama seemed to take heavy inspiration from traditional Chinese styles, rather than staying true to the Korean hanbok, which would have been more appropriate for the historical context of Goguryeo. Next up, let's talk about everything Jong-so had to do for her part in the drama. Known for her portrayals of fierce, independent women, took an entirely new challenge with Queen Wu, as this was her very first historical drama. The role of Queen Wu, a powerful woman navigating dangerous power struggles, was definitely not just another acting job for her, as it was a big step outside of her comfort zone. Jong-so candidly admitted that her first shoot didn't go as smoothly as she hoped. Elaborating on this experience, she said, "During the first shoot, I spoke in my usual slow and relaxed manner, but I was shocked when I saw the final product." Sharing how she felt when she realized things weren't working out, she said, "I initially thought I should just be myself, but when I saw the result, it felt like I was speaking a different language." The historical setting demanded a formal and deliberate way of speaking, and finding the balance between her natural style and the demands of the period setting was one of the biggest hardships she faced. To find a way to meet the requirements of playing this role, she sought advice from her her more experienced co-stars, many of whom were veterans in the historical drama genre. Jong So wasn't the only cast member stepping outside her comfort zone for Queen Wu, as both Oh Han-hee and Jung Yumi were also pushed far beyond their usual boundaries, especially when it came to filming a highly controversial sapphic skinship scene. The scene in question featured Woo Sun and the shaman Sabi in a graphic bed scene that stirred up significant backlash. In the scene, Woo Sun, under the influence of a potion, mistakenly believes she is in love with Go Nam-moo, played by Ji Chang-wook. In her disoriented state, she engages in an inappropriate encounter with Sabi, leading to a skinship scene that lasts nearly 2 minutes on screen. This scene caught many viewers off guard and quickly became a major point of public criticism. In South Korea, where LGBTQ+ representation remains a sensitive and often stigmatized topic, such a bold portrayal of queer relationships, particularly in mainstream television, is rarely seen. Han-ni recently spoke up about these bold scenes and revealed she's aware of the public's reaction. She elaborated by sharing that even her friends were shocked by what they saw. She also received numerous messages from people saying they enjoyed the project and had been eagerly waiting for it. Despite needing to expose much of her body for these scenes, she admitted she didn't feel nervous about it at all. Instead, she focused on the importance of Sabi's role and making sure she portrayed the character well. There's no denying she had to share a lot of herself with the public, so it's not crazy to find out she was a bit disappointed when people focused more on her exposed chest rather than her acting. Similarly, Yumi opened up about her experience filming these scenes. During a press conference, she openly discussed these moments on set, admitting that shooting one of her more revealing scenes was far from enjoyable. She explained, "I felt pressured, but it was a scene that was essential for the story. This was her first time being asked to film such a scene, which made the experience all the more intimidating, yet she chose to move forward with it." Yumi believed the scenes were crucial for powerfully portraying Woo Sun's character. Once she committed to filming, she invested lots of time and energy to ensure they were executed perfectly, working closely with her colleagues to get every detail right. Fortunately, with the support of the production team, she felt well guided throughout the process, and in the end, it wasn't as overwhelming as she initially feared. Moving on, let's talk about the part Ji Chang-wook had to play to make this drama come to life. Famous for his roles in action-packed thrillers and romantic dramas, he faced a whole new set of challenges in Queen Wu, especially as the series pushed him into territory he had never explored before. Known for his skill in intense fight sequences, Chang-wook took a different direction with this drama. The rest of the cast likely had to undergo extensive training for the physical demands of the show, but while the fight scenes were undoubtedly demanding, they probably weren't the most challenging aspect for Chang-wook this time around. The real test came with an unexpected and highly provocative scene that left many viewers stunned. In one of the most talked about moments, Nam-woo returns from the battlefield deeply wounded both physically and emotionally. Instead of receiving traditional medical care, the king is treated through an unconventional and shocking method. He shares a bed with 3 women at once. Lasting for an intense 3 minutes and 23 seconds, the scene graphically shows Nam-woo engaging with the women in an attempt to ease his pain. Korean audiences who were more familiar with his roles in more traditional settings were shocked by the boldness of the scene. The exposure and physical closeness were far outside the boundaries of what viewers expected, and for Chang-wook, filming such a scene likely was very mentally demanding. It's safe to say that filming Queen Wu was all about stepping outside comfort zones, pushing both the cast and crew into new and difficult territory.